Why can't I find someone like you? That was the question that started it all. Given the improbable sequence of events that led us to this point, I think it was inevitable. I mean, I'm a red-blooded man with a hairy chest, a glorious toolkit, and more than my share of pubic scalps hanging from my belt, metaphorically, of course. So when my attention was drawn to a hot 25-year-old petite not redhead with fire red hair, an angelic face, and a playboy body in the middle, there was nothing unappealing about entertaining fantasies about the young goddess in question. It's entirely natural for a gentleman like me to imagine that 7-year-old body entangled with mine, shifting into shimmering naked positions of exuberant abandon and sheer physical pleasure, isn't it? I'm a man who loves women. No harm in that. Except, of course, when the stunning young lady is your niece. A little background. I have a brother, a few years younger than me. My brother has a beautiful wife, and together they gave birth to a daughter 17 years ago. I've been single all my life. I've had girlfriends here and there and got close to engagement once, but I've resigned myself to the fact that I won't have kids. So I welcomed my sister's daughter with great joy. I was her favorite uncle, and she became the light of my life. I watched my niece grow up, enjoying her happiness, as if she were my daughter. I was the first person she called with any happy news. I was the one who cheered her up when she was down. I was the one she came to when she needed someone, even more than her parents. We became very, very close. She had her own room in my house, and even during those rebellious teenage years when her parents became the enemy, she never treated me that way. I was her partner in conspiracy, her best friend, her partner in crime. I suppose that's how we got to where we are now. My niece, Rebecca, came to my door Saturday night. She rang the bell and then let herself in with her key. I was in the den, beating the crap out of the bad guys on the big screen, a video game controller in my hand, a cold beer on the coffee table. When I heard the bell and then the key in the lock, I knew who it was. Even though she practically lived here, Rebecca always announced herself before letting herself in. Credit to my brother and sister-in-law for instilling the same respect she had grown up with. I put my game on pause and went out to the hall to greet my niece. "Hey, Pumpkin." I threw out the nickname as a cross between affection and teasing at her hair, which was somewhat orange when she was a child but had darkened to a gorgeous red as she grew older. "You know I love having you here, but wouldn't you rather be anywhere but here with your uncle on a Saturday night?" One look at her face killed my teasing mood. She stood in the hallway positively ghostly. She just stood there looking at me, her beautiful face pale, her emerald green eyes looking vacant. She said faintly, "I can leave." I rushed to her and put my hand on her shoulders. "You're not going anywhere," I said, my concern in my voice. "Come here." I wrapped my arms around her and hugged her tightly. I could tell something was going on with her, and I knew she would get it off her chest in her own time. So I delayed saying anything else for the moment and just hugged her. She stood there like a statue for a moment, and then her breath hitched, and she wrapped her arms around me. "Uncle Ronnie," she said, and then she collapsed and started to cry. I stroked her hair and made comforting sounds.